Nelson Mandela's release from prison in 1990 did not arrive as a sudden victory, but as the result of decades of pressure, sacrifice, and calculated endurance. After 27 years behind bars, Mandela walked out of Victor Verster prison into a world that had changed dramatically, while he himself had been frozen in time. Television cameras captured the moment, but what they could not show was the weight of expectation placed upon him. South Africa stood on the edge of chaos, divided by fear, anger, and unresolved trauma. Many expected Mandela to call for revenge, to answer violence with violence, and to ignite a final confrontation. Instead, his first public words signaled a different path. Mandela spoke of unity, negotiation, and shared future, not because the wounds had healed, but because he understood that a nation already broken could not survive another fracture. His freedom marked the beginning of a far more complex struggle, transforming liberation into lasting peace. As negotiations began between the apartheid government and liberation movements, Mandela emerged as a central figure in a fragile political process. Trust was scarce, emotions were raw, and extremist violence threatened to derail every step forward. Mandela spent countless hours in dialogue with former enemies, including leaders who had once justified his imprisonment. These conversations were tense and often met with resistance from both sides. Within the black population, many questioned whether compromise meant betrayal. Among whites, fear of losing power fueled uncertainty and hostility. Mandela navigated this minefield with strategic patience, aware that a single misstep could plunge the country into civil war. He balanced firmness with restraint, insisting on democratic principles, while acknowledging the fears of a population conditioned by decades of racial hierarchy. Leadership, in this moment, was not about commanding crowds, but about preventing collapse. Mandela's calm presence became a stabilizing force in a nation struggling to redefine itself. In 1994, South Africa held its first multiracial democratic election, a moment once considered impossible. Millions of citizens stood in long lines, some waiting for hours under the sun, to cast a vote for the first time in their lives. Mandela, elected as the country's first black president, inherited not only power, but responsibility for a deeply divided society. His presidency was not built on triumphalism, but on reconciliation. Rather than dismantling institutions overnight, Mandela focused on transforming them, understanding that stability was essential for progress. One of his most symbolic initiatives was the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, a process designed to confront past atrocities without repeating cycles of punishment. It was an imperfect solution, but it allowed the nation to face its history openly. Mandela's leadership demonstrated that justice and peace, though often in tension, could coexist through transparency and dialogue. Mandela's presidency faced enormous challenges: economic inequality, social unrest, and the lingering psychological scars of apartheid. Expectations were impossibly high, and solutions were slow. Yet Mandela chose to lead by example, prioritizing unity over personal authority. His gestures carried profound symbolic weight, none more so than his support of the national rugby team, long seen as a symbol of white dominance. By embracing it as a national symbol, Mandela sent a powerful message that the future belonged to all South Africans. These acts were not superficial, but strategic, aimed at reshaping identity and belonging. Mandela understood that reconciliation was not a single event, but a continuous process requiring empathy, sacrifice, and restraint. His leadership style challenged conventional notions of power, showing that moral authority could achieve what force never could. After serving a single term, Mandela chose to step down, reinforcing his belief that leadership should strengthen institutions, not personalities. His decision surprised many, but it solidified his legacy as a leader committed to democracy rather than control. In retirement, Mandela became a global symbol of reconciliation, human rights, and dignity. He spoke not as a politician, but as a witness to history, reminding the world that freedom is fragile and must be protected continuously. His influence extended beyond borders, inspiring movements and leaders across continents. Yet Mandela remained clear that he was not a saint, nor a hero without flaws. He described himself as an ordinary man shaped by extraordinary circumstances, emphasizing collective struggle over individual achievement. This humility became one of the defining elements of his global legacy. Nelson Mandela's story does not end with his presidency or his death, because his true legacy lives in the questions he left behind. Can justice exist without revenge? Can former enemies build a shared future? Can dignity survive decades of dehumanization? Mandela did not offer simple answers, but his life demonstrated that moral courage can alter the course of history. From prisoner to president, from resistance to reconciliation, Mandela's journey reshaped not only South Africa, but the world's understanding of leadership. His life stands as evidence that enduring change is not achieved through domination, but through persistence, empathy, and the willingness to see humanity even in those who deny it. This is not the story of a perfect man, but of a powerful idea that reconciliation, though difficult, is the strongest form of freedom.